In 2017, Charlottesville was buzzing with talk about the possibility of removing Confederate monuments in the city. Some argued that removing these statues were erasing our history.
Growing up in Charlottesville in the 40s and 50s, it was a quiet, peaceful university town that was segregated. I didn't understand why it was and was told it's just the way it is. And it was not until 2017, when the KKK and the white nationalists came to town, that I began to understand the statutes represented false idols.
I was born in 1941 here in Charlottesville, Virginia, where I spent the majority of my life. My family had a home on 9th and Page Street, a few blocks from the university area, where colored people weren't allowed to mingle. In my earlier years, if I wanted to go to a theater, we would have to sit in the balcony. As we continued to travel, we would get to Lee's Park, where there would more than likely be white gatherings. And in those white gatherings, there was always someone mocking us, taunting us as we would go by. So it was a very frightening place to go by.
They came bringing their AK-47s. They came bringing their AR-15s. They brought their handguns, their 9mm, their 10mm. They brought their machetes. They brought their Bowie knives. They brought sticks and bats and lead pipes. They brought bottles full of urine. They brought cans full of concrete and cement. They brought tear gas and mace, all to what they claimed to be a peaceful protest.
Blood and soil. Heil Hitler. Jews will not replace us. You will not replace us. I grew up hearing these hateful chants in a foreign language, in old history films that always ended with horrible images and unthinkable atrocities. I watched them in school and later as an adult, knowing that my own immediate family, my father's parents and brothers and sisters and cousins and everyone he knew and everyone that they knew were murdered by that hateful ideology.
We don't need monuments of stone and steel to remind us that the heritage of slavery is present in the bodies of American descendants of slavery, who carry within them generational trauma and pain.
We are the living memorials to this history.
We are the living memorials to this history.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home.
We envision a future where the heritage of white supremacy is no longer exerting its oppression on African Americans in the form of denigrating stereotypes,
belittling microaggressions,
discriminatory housing and hiring practices,
inferior physical and mental health.
Therefore, we are not erasing history when we advocate for the removal of Confederate statues. Rather, we want to dismantle a one-sided telling of history that only celebrates the stories of those who fought against the United States for the sake of enslaving others for their own gain.
We want to tell the full and inclusive history so that the untold stories, ignored experiences, and the many contributions and innovations of Black, brown, and indigenous people may also see the light of day.
O you who believe, stand out firmly for justice as witnesses to Allah.
This is a prayer from the Insight Meditation community of Charlottesville to Kuan Yin, who is the feminine aspect of the Buddha.
A poem from the Sufi tradition.
O thou compassionate Lord, thou who art generous and able, we are servants of thine, sheltered beneath thy providence.
We mourn the death of those who have died too soon in this calling. Today especially, we say the name of Heather Heyer.
Let us come to encounter these multiple truths with a balance of justice and peace.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening sky. Let it resound. Let it resound.